Hey everybody, Francis Payton and Craig Moeller with you today. We're talking about something in the water and all the water that's been falling from the sky, right?
Yeah, something in the water, something in the sky.
It has been a mess, and it's been an interesting thing. We wanted to take some time to really let you know what's going on. We're going to talk about the winds. They put a hold on the start time of something in the water due to the wind and the rain this morning. But really, Francis, we were talking about it. There's no surprise with how things have been playing. We knew it was going to be wet all morning, and we knew we were going to have a little bit of wind as well.
Well, thankfully, nothing this morning has been severe, but we still are under that level 1 severe weather threat, so that marginal risk.
Yeah.
But that's not until probably later.
Yeah, and again, that's going to be for parts of the area. We'll put that graphic up. You'll see it in just a moment. But for the beach, they're actually outside that level 1 threat. It's for areas west and southwest. We're going to talk about that. Let's get into our 3 things to know. Widespread rain this morning. Check, right?
Check.
That's the thing. Scattered afternoon showers and storms. We're going to show you the Futurecast here in a moment. It will get a little warmer over the weekend. So if you're over this cool stretch of weather that we've been experiencing, hang in there. At least temperatures getting back to average tomorrow in the mid-70s. Take a look there. What do you see on the camera?
It's just a gray start to the day, as we already mentioned. It's going to be damp view, unfortunately, but we're turning to more scattered-like showers, too.
Be more hit and miss this afternoon.
Yes. One thing about our tower camera, if you want to go back to it really quickly, you see a little bit of a shake on the droplets right there? Because it's so windy out this side.
Yeah, it's a good tell, for sure. The other thing, while we have this sky view up, let's take you out to the ocean front and show you the view. Look at the seas there. We've had the winds picking up there at the ocean front, and it's really churning up the ocean waters here just offshore from Virginia Beach. That's at the Rudy Inlet. And that is the solar stage that is set up for something in the water. So obviously the boardwalk there, very wet, as you can see, and it's pretty windy there at the ocean front. So that's one look. I'm not sure. We'll take a look at the DQ
Well, didn't you say you saw wind gusts of near 37 miles per hour, which means it's probably even stronger at the ocean front, just up by a smidge bit, but still.
And that was at Oceana. You're 100% right there. Take a look at the winds gusts that were reported, and this is at 10:30 in the morning. Tangier Island, a gust of 32, 31 there at Wallops. The gust at the airport only 21, and we've seen a few gusts inland. You can see even areas up towards Matthews at about 27.
And 23 at Virginia Beach. So
that's come down a little bit from earlier. You were right on the money, though. We had a gust up to 37 at Oceana. So you think about that. That's a couple miles inland. Right there at the beach, they're exposed.
Yes, there's no barrier for them, so they're feeling the brunt of the winds, unfortunately the rain as well. So they're really the ones taking the heat.
Yeah, you think about it, when you come inland, you've got trees, you've got buildings, you've got other things that can create friction and slow down the winds a little bit. Right there in the ocean front, the water doesn't create as much friction or drag on the winds, and that's why they tend to be stronger right there. All right, these are wind gusts for Norfolk over the next 12 hours. I just wanted to show you the general trend calls for winds to decrease, but there's some other ways we can show you what's happening. Again, we had some higher gusts earlier this morning in Virginia Beach. Notice those areas in red. That depicts some higher gusts, and it looks like the eastern shore may get it a little later today.
Oh boy, yeah, near 30 to even 40 miles per hour around 1, 2 o'clock this afternoon. And good news is a lot of that main system is going to exit the region. So winds will be calming throughout the day, but we do have that one final push of this front that won't move through until later this evening. Still will be on the breezy to gusty side, as you can see, with wind gusts near about 20 miles per hour.
Yeah, that's one way to take a look. But again, those winds trending down as we head through the late afternoon. Here's another model. This is the European model. And just to show you again, earlier it nailed that wind gust up to 37 at Virginia Beach. So really doing a good job there. You can see Norfolk 26 miles per hour, so not as windy there. And then places inland like Franklin and farther west like Edenton, the winds considerably lighter. Now, as we go through the afternoon, watch what happens. Again, up on the eastern shore, Malfa around 1 o'clock could see winds up around 40 to 45 miles per hour. Those are wind gusts, okay? You'll notice, so Virginia Beach down to 22. So
well, that'll be good news for the concerts.
Great news. Yeah, we want those winds to ease up at the beach, and that's why we're doing this, just to let you know. Again, this is the general thinking. The trend will be for the winds to decrease later this afternoon and into the evening. The winds really do settle down, more like 10 to 20 miles per hour. So it's been a really windy start to the day with the wind and the rain organizers at Something in the Water said, maybe we pause and not have people come down here showing up at noon with it being so raw and windy. As the winds ease, they will keep you updated real time from their Something in the Water app. They'll be sending out information. And of course, here at 13 News Now, we'll pass that along as well. Let's talk about the forecast then for Something in the Water. What do you think, Francis?
I mean, I'd say not too shabby in terms of temperatures, but when you look into the evening forecast, that's when going to be a little bit more concerned. But overall temperatures staying around the middle to the upper 60s. Pretty pleasant for April, or I'd say end of April. But as we get into the evening forecast, that's where we do have that area of concern as we do have those chance of seeing a few showers and unfortunately storms.
Yeah, we could see a couple storms pulse up. Now that's the forecast for today. We'll show you tomorrow just to give folks a little bit of good news.
Something
here.
excited.
Yeah, it looks beautiful for the festival tomorrow. Temperatures a little bit warmer and partly sunny, but we got to get through this afternoon and this evening first. So this is what we're going to do now. We're going to take a look at that severe weather threat. Francis, you mentioned earlier that we do have this marginal threat across parts of the area. It does not include the ocean front or Something in the Water. So good news there. But those areas west need to look out.
They absolutely do. But I will say just because they're not included doesn't mean they won't see any action.
100%.
And you and I have both been looking at the shorter range models, the higher resolution models, and it seems they're now becoming more in agreement or congruent where there's that one little blimp.
Yeah, blimp or blip?
Blip? Blimp? Whatever.
Goodyear blimp.
Goodyear.
There is a little cell that may create some problems near the coast, and that's an excellent point. What we're showing you right here, this is the severe weather outlook from the Storm Prediction Center out of Norman, Oklahoma, and they're saying that the better chances for strong to severe storms will be to the west and to the south, northeast North Carolina, most of Chesapeake, even the southwest tip of Virginia Beach, but it's areas out through Suffolk, Isle of Wight, up to Surrey and Sussex. Those areas are under that level 1 threat for severe weather. You look at the peninsula, middle peninsula, eastern shore, Portsmouth, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, largely not included in that. But to Francis's point, and again, I can't stress it enough, 100% right, just because you're not under that marginal threat doesn't mean you couldn't see a strong or potentially severe cell. It just means that's the area that is more likely to see some of that rougher weather. So wanted to show you that. Now we're going to get into our Futurecast, show you a couple models here, and we're going to talk about that blip or blimp
The blimp
on the model. You're so much fun to give a hard time to.
It's pretty easy. I make it easy for you.
She got to hit me with her good hand. She's got one hand there that's, anyway. All right, so we'll take a look here at the Futurecast. And again, looks like a little bit of a break with this particular model. This is the graph model.
A little intermission period.
Okay, a little break, but look at that. We do get a little cell there.
Yep.
And you were mentioning, not only are we seeing it now with this one, and you'll notice that much of the area does catch a break if this model is correct.
Yes.
But this is just one model. I want to also show you the HER. This is a high resolution, rapid refresh model. And you can see again, the wet weather this morning kind of moving past us. A little bit of a break into the afternoon.
Yes, very similar. I always like to say I like to take the HRRR, the HER, with a grain of salt, because I think it does a good job of depicting what could occur, but sometimes I think it will show too much at times.
Well, again, depending, sometimes it can pick up a little thing and then run with it.
Yes.
What is interesting, though, these models, these higher resolution models, are starting to come more in line. And you see that one cell down to the south. This is at 545. That's a potential stronger cell that you were mentioning that, we're going to be watching for carefully. And you see how it works towards the coast as we get into the evening.
Yes. So that's what we're really watching, because we're obviously so concerned about Something in the Water. So that's what we're watching into the evening time frame.
So that comes by. It looks like it's passing a little farther to the south. But folks need to know, and I guess this is the most important thing we can share with you as you're going out tonight. Take the 13 News Now mobile app with you. We want you to be able to access our radar. You'll access weather cut-ins. They show up on the mobile app. You can see our live newscast with it, but it's for you on the go, and you'll get updates, important updates from our news team.
Yeah, and you can actually even just slide to get severe weather alerts in the event. So, and it just a little notification on your phone, so you can have that as a resource or tool for you.
Great stuff. Well, we've been working all morning, and I know Jeff's going to be watching this afternoon. Francis, you've got the noon show today, and you'll be covering it later this afternoon as well. So plenty to keep an eye on. And again, thanks for helping out with the update. I just thought it'd be fun to get out here and talk a little bit about what we're looking at and what folks will be concerned with later today with something in the water.
Nice to see you late in the morning, too.
That's your good hand.
Yeah, that's my bad hand.
Other hand's doing okay. Recovering, was it broken?
It's broken. Broken wrist again.
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. But again, stay tuned to 13 News Now for more updates, and we'll keep you posted.